Hi, good evening, everybody. Two things made me happy when I came here. One is that I could see welding a picture on the backdrop. I specialize in using technology for teaching hard skills. Second is that in the keynote address by Dr. Kalsi, the words extended reality, virtual reality came up multiple times. So these are two areas of my expertise. It felt very happy to hear about them. So I am here to share the technology perspective of how the future of skilling will be. Another aspect that Dr. Kalsi had touched upon is the aspiration part, making uh, hard skills aspiration. A few years back, when we started Skillveri, we found that there is a huge mismatch between what the youth want to become and what the industry needs. There was this study by University of Pennsylvania where they mapped on one axis the aspiration and on the other axis the opportunities. And the disconnect was that um, the more opportunities were in the sectors that were perceived as dirty, construction, plumbing, welding, painting, all of that. Whereas people wanted to be in banking, retail. Somebody had coined this term ACPC. I want to work in an AC environment on a PC, not on a hard tool in a dirty environment. So how can technology change these things? One is that with world class manufacturing that has been spoken about, um, the the way manufacturing is going to work is also going to change. The factories will not be as dirty as we perceive them to be. uh, the quality of output is going to be very different. So how do we make people ready for that kind of job roles, and how do we make a society as well as the youth aware of the potential that these kind of high skill jobs have? I don't know how many of you in this room know that an experienced welder can earn 4 lakh rupees a month if they work in a nuclear plant. So, yeah, I'm happy to see that people are raising hands there. But Mr. Rao, when he spoke about people ditching the core and going into the IT services side. I am an IT person myself, but unless the other sector exists, it cannot, IT cannot survive on its own. Uh, those people who go into IT are uh, attracted by the initial salary, not knowing the potential that comes from the hard skill. The other thing is that the industry hiring managers also need to treat the hard skill people as more equal. Uh, a few years back, I spoke to somebody who was general manager of HR in the crane sector, the construction sector, and he was lamenting that a crane operator has to be paid same amount as a project manager. But if you look at the cost of the crane as well as the cost of 1 hour of operation of the crane, he's actually underpaid. So these are all thoughts that have to come up. The third aspect I wanted to touch upon is on how admissions are handled in ITIs. Today, people go to ITIs are sort of leftovers from the other side. People who can't make it to 11th standard, people who can't make it to the regular courses, they go to the ITIs. It should not be so. There should be respect for the work that people do after graduating from the ITIs. The admission for ITIs is based on 8th standard marks or 10th standard marks. Instead, it could be based on the hard skill. So somebody who wants to be a machine operator or an AC repair mechanic should not be prevented from joining it uh, because his marks in social studies in 10th standard was low. So how can technology change things here? So this is where AR, VR, metaverse, and these technologies can help. So one is to teach people to do these hard skills through immersive 3D environments. That is one. Two is to have simulators and other technologies to even assess. So instead of using 10 standard marks only, if you take 10 standard marks as a component, and let's say there is a system where uh, you can go in, try out a skill for half an hour, you try out 10 different skills, and the system tells you that you are good in these kind of skills, and that becomes a good component for the admissions to the ITA. So this is one change that we at Skillveri has been working on, and so far we have worked on skills like welding, spray painting, AC repair mechanic, solar panel installation technician, blasting and all. And we are tying up with other technology partners to bring in carpentry, electrician, plumber, such kind of courses into this kind of a system where it can also assess and teach. Now, if this assessment through a dexterity measurement can become like a GRE score or a JEE rank, then that can be linked to possibly an Aadhaar or some way where it can become a national database of people and their skills in respective trades. And um, the cost of technology, in particular the virtual reality headsets and other things, have also come down, and therefore it is a right inflection point for higher adoption of these kind of technologies. I wanted to share one anecdote also, because Kanika here mentioned about women, and 5 years back, when we were piloting our spray painting simulator with Berger paints, we were conducting a training program for painters using the simulator. There was one lady who walked into that center because she was part of a self-help group and was trying to figure out some activity for herself and her team. And she was curious on what was happening there, and then she came and tried the simulator. It's a spray painting simulator. Painting in general and spray painting in particular is completely dominated by men. So she came, she tried the simulator, she got a score of 60 or something, and she was very upset. She said, I have never seen this kind of marks in my life. Can you tell me how it works? So then the engineers told her how it works, and she spent the next 1.5 days practicing on the simulator. And on the third day, when practical tests were conducted, she came out on top, beating all the men. And this I have seen in many other places where factories where they have been open to hiring women for jobs like welding and painting. They have excelled. And technology can actually be a great leveler, giving equal opportunity or better opportunity and taking away the biases, because when a machine is measuring your capability, it doesn't have the human bias that people have. My last point is that in the last 10 years, we have worked with various CSR partners also, and we find that CSR investment into an ITI, into upgrading the equipment and conducting of training, can go a long way. NCVT has updated the syllabus and made it very up to date, but the equipment at the ITI may not be so up to date, and this is where a CSR investment can make a lot of impact. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer questions later.